because it's time for Off The Script. And all you fucking goons and assholes, get in line and hit subscribe because it's time for Off The Script. Hit the like button and share it around. You can even pull your fucking pants down because it's time for Off The Script with JD from New York 206 because it's time for Off The Script because it's time for Off The Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. This is episode 139 Off The Script, part number 1. To start your weekend off the right fucking way. Not only the number 1 fucking podcast on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, and Google Play Music, but this is the number 1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes. Right here on YouTube.com. This is Off The Script. Thank you guys so much for joining me, man. What a big week. Unbelievable big week, man. I have been absolutely swamped with work, man. And I'm talking about shit that I can't wait to dive headfirst into. This week, not a lot of wrestling news, man, to be quite honest with you. There's been several big stories to break over the last, I'd say, 12 to 18 hours. But as far as this week goes, man, it is all WWE 2K17. The game officially launched on Tuesday, and I have been having so much fun with it, man. My career mode is going very, very well, and I hope each and every one of you check it out, man. Off The Script is my biggest show. It is the number 1 thing on my channel, and I know I'm going to get a lot of people watching me this weekend like I do every week. And I want you guys to go and check it out, man. If you love my WWE content, you are going to enjoy what I'm bringing to the table with my career, man. A lot of people are doing it. A lot of people in the 2K community are doing this, man. Chris Denk. You got Pulse. You got Emu. You got Tony Pizza Guy. You got Luigi. You got Big Red New York. You got It's My Yard. Everybody, Tom Cushney. Everybody is doing this thing, man. And I want to stand out from everybody. I'm giving you guys a real representation, a real life, realistic presentation to my career. On top of Mr. 9 to 5, on top of everything that he's got to go through, I'm giving you guys no Michael Cole, no JBL, and no Jerry the King Lawler, man. I am giving you my best Mauro Ranallo impersonation, man. I am commentating everything as if I was actually commentating for the WWE. We're making real life decisions. We're having promos happen. We're calling out superstars. We're interfering in matches. It is fucking awesome, and I want you guys to go check it out. Live on my YouTube channel right now, there are 3 episodes. I want you guys to go check them out. I swear to you, you are going to have a fucking blast. Grab a cold beverage, grab your wife, grab the kids, grab the dog, grab the cat, grab whoever's in your fucking house, man, and sit down and enjoy what I got coming to you, plus all winter long. It is going to be fucking awesome. Rusty and I, on top of career mode, he's doing it as well. But on top of that, what I am most proud of right now for 2K17 is that we just had our first supplemental brand extension draft. Rusty and I, a.k.a. Falcon, we did a draft last night on YouTube live. We live streamed. It's on my channel right now. And this thing was fucking beast, man. We took out everybody in the game and we put them into a name generator. And randomly, doesn't matter who it is, man. It could have been Jake the Snake. It could have been Rick Rude. It could have been Dusty Rhodes. It could have been Seth Rollins, John Cena. Whoever this name generator picked. That was your draft. And we drafted 25 individuals for the main roster. 7 women and 7 tag teams. We are going to have a brand split, man. Rusty and I. Rusty's taking control of SmackDown. I am taking control of Monday Night Raw. We're going to have our own pay-per-views. We're going to be live streaming this thing, man. It is going to be fucking epic. So if you guys enjoyed my live streams for 2K16, you are going to absolutely love what I have in store for you with a more definitive roster, with a more toned down roster, my creativity, promos now, pay-per-views. I have control of one brand. I don't have to worry about working with 2 brands. Rusty's going to be taking care of the other brand. It is going to be fucking unbelievable, man. 2K17 is where it's at, and that is the biggest thing, honestly, that has happened this week. Please go and check out everything. So thank you guys for everything, all right? What else, man? You guys know the deal. Twitter, JD from NY206. YouTube, subscribe if you have not done so already. YouTube's still fucked up. YouTube is still fucked up, man. It's pissing me off. I'm working my fucking tail to the bone, and YouTube is still fucked up. But thank you to everybody that's come over and subscribed. And we're going to be doing this thing all winter long, man. If you guys want to support the podcast, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you to everybody that's pledged. Thank you to everybody that's bought t-shirts this week, man. You guys continue to buy the t-shirts. Get off my TV. You got Roman Reigns and Eva Marie, the newest ones. You got Big Show and then the 4 Goons, Goon City, and then the gray Off The Script logo t-shirt. $19.99. They ship worldwide. That is barbershopwindow.com. Go to the main menu. Go to the search bar. Type in Off The Script, and you're going to be taken right to my online shop, man. No matter where you are going to get a t-shirt. So please get yours today. Unbelievable stuff. Pro Wrestling Tees is the #1 fucking place to get your wrestling paraphernalia from your favorite superstars, man. That's barbershopwindow.com. My friends over at WrestleCrate, WrestleCrate.com, and on Twitter at WrestleCrate. Use the coupon code JDSentMe for an instant 10% off. And Loot Crate, WWE Slam Crate coming soon, man. By the end of this month, everybody should have their first Slam Crate. And I want to give you guys 10% off. You're going to use the link I provide down in the description below. You're going to save money by going to that link, man, because what you're going to do is you're going to type in the coupon code JD from NY, and you're going to save 10% off your first Slam Crate, man. So make sure you guys take advantage of that immediately. I believe this is the last weekend to do that. So make sure you guys do that. Today is October 14th. I think by the end of this weekend, it is cut off, man. So make sure you guys get your Slam Crate today. Thank you guys so much for that, man. I don't even know where to begin. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin with this this week's wrestling news. I understand, and we're not going to be talking about it today because the tapings happened, and I want to make sure I got a full-fledged report about what happened. Mickie James, I know, is back. She's back in the WWE, but she's back in NXT. And she's challenging Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship at Toronto. Mickie James, yes, you heard me correctly. Mickie James is coming back to the WWE. I don't know if it's another run. I don't know if she's back for good. I don't know if it's a one-time deal. I don't know. But she will be at NXT TakeOver in Toronto, one-on-one with Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship. I will have a news update as soon as it becomes available. Okay, so just make sure you guys look out for that. I understand about that news story. Another thing I know about, which we will be reporting this weekend, man, Hideo Itami. WWE finally confirmed that he has a neck injury. He is out of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. I understand. Kota Ibushi is looking for a tag team partner. I understand. William Regal came out today during the tapings and said that Hideo Itami is injured. Kota Ibushi is left without a partner. We want Ibushi in. Ibushi still wants in. We found him a partner, and his partner is T.J. Perkins, man. TJP is now the partner for Kota Ibushi in the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Tag Team Classic, man. That should be fucking awesome. I had Itami and Ibushi realistically winning the whole thing. It was either them or it was going to be Authors of Pain. But now, obviously, that has changed. I'm going with Authors of Pain. I do not see TJP and Kota Ibushi winning this thing. I thought maybe Hideo Itami and Ibushi would do it. And we will talk about that this weekend. Maybe on this show, depending on where it falls in my notes. We will talk about it in this block of news that I'm about to give to you guys. Also, another thing happened at the NXT tapings. Roderick Strong, Mr. Ring of Honor himself, has debuted with NXT. He is indeed Austin Aries' partner for the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Tag Team Classic. He is now in NXT. And I want to apologize to everybody that was waiting for an NXT Lucha Underground review. We will be back with that next week. And NXT was fantastic this week. I didn't get to watch Lucha Underground this week yet. I was too busy playing WWE 2K17. I've been working on videos nonstop for you guys, so hopefully you all understand. Now, being that all that secondary stuff is out of the way, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this news report. We're going to start off with Bill Goldberg, man. Bill Goldberg. He was on ESPN. Paul Heyman called him out on Monday. Goldberg then tweeted that he's going to be on Monday Night Raw in Denver this coming Monday. Now, a big update on Goldberg's WWE deal has emerged. Bill Goldberg's WWE return is in motion, and the wrestler himself recently confirmed that he will be on next week's episode of Monday Night Raw to personally respond to Paul Heyman's challenge on behalf of his client, Brock Lesnar. This will presumably lead to both men facing each other in this year's Survivor Series pay-per-view in November, just as numerous wrestling sites had reported in recent weeks. It will serve as a rematch to one of the most hyped, yet ultimately most disappointing matches in WWE history, Goldberg versus Lesnar at WrestleMania 20 in 2004. But how long will Bill Goldberg be in WWE per the terms of his deal with the company? Well, a new report came out from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and Dave Meltzer is going to shed some light on key information on Bill Goldberg's deal. According to Meltzer, the contract was only finalized a little over a week ago after weeks of negotiation, and it will all boil down to Goldberg versus Lesnar being made official at the Survivor Series, which will take place on November 20th in Toronto. Brock Lesnar, on the other hand, will be making another appearance this month as part of his part-time deal with WWE, and it will be on October 24th, and that episode of Raw will take place from his hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Although that is pretty much the meat of what's available to his non-subscribers, that is Dave Meltzer. Meltzer had more to say about Goldberg's WWE deal. Using the Wrestling Observer report as a source, Wrestling Inc. said that the plan is for Goldberg to wrestle only one match, his almost confirmed match against Lesnar at Survivor Series this year, but that might not be all, as fan response could lead to more in-ring appearances being booked for his second WWE run. Still, that could be a challenge at Survivor Series, as Goldberg has always faced negative crowd reactions in Canada. And the reason for that is because, if you guys remember, the reason why Bret Hart does no longer or does not work for WWE or work for wrestling, any wrestling promotion in general, is because Bill Goldberg was the one who critically injured Bret the Hitman Hart and pretty much retired him well before he was ready to retire. So that is the reason, and he could certainly face negative backlash in Toronto for injuring one of Canada's biggest heroes. So you guys all know that story. All things considered, there are a lot of excitement going around the WWE, being that Goldberg is making a comeback and his first match in the company in 12 years. Aside from a couple of brief appearances for Legends of Wrestling, he has barely been involved in the wrestling scene since WrestleMania 10 and the debacle that happened with Lesnar at Madison Square Garden. But Goldberg has since made nice with WWE after over a decade of poor relations and had recently lent his likeness to 2K Sports for WWE 2K17, where he appears as the pre-order bonus wrestler. One still has to wonder, though, whether Goldberg vs. Lesnar is an excuse for WWE to promote its official video game in its latest iteration, or a way for the company to revitalize its business and ratings. And while that talking point has been raised several times, IGN, the publication IGN, added another reason to cast doubt on the success of Goldberg in WWE circa 2016, the lack of planning beyond what could be a one-time deal. If it's a match though, who goes over? And what does it mean? And will any of it involve Shane McMahon and the whole story arc that seemed to start at SummerSlam? It just feels like a one-and-done event of little consequence, much like their first match, actually. These two will meet during this one moment in time and then go their separate ways with no long-term planning involved. Will a match with a 49-year-old WWE returnee who hasn't competed in 12 years and a part-time performer whose commitment to the company has often been questioned be as bad as some think it may be? At this point, that may or may not even be the case, but one thing is for sure, Bill Goldberg in WWE is a thing once again. It will be a thing once again, for sure, and his return has got a lot of people talking. And that's all WWE wants. That is all WWE wants, man. Yes, obviously the video game is part of this branding. Obviously the video game is going to be part of this return. It's going to hype the game for the holiday season. It's going to be a big seller, right? He's in the game. They obviously want to show off the game. They want to show gameplay on Raw. They want to get it to a point where the Christmas season comes around and they want to see a huge boost in sales. Also, this is definitely being done, and I've been throwing the word desperate around. I've honestly been throwing the word desperate around WWE a lot this week. In terms of Sasha Banks and Charlotte inside Hell in a Cell, desperate. And this is desperation on WWE's behalf, man. I feel that WWE is literally throwing a fucking Hail Mary, and they're waiting for their star wide receiver to catch it and score the game-winning touchdown. This is what I feel this Bill Goldberg deal is. Smackdown is actually beating Monday Night Raw in the ratings, man. And if they are not yet, they certainly will be, and it's going to be a definitive defeat from Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is sliding down. Smackdown is actually creeping slowly. Not by much, but slowly up. And they're gaining. Okay? So, obviously, this is going to be done to generate interest, to get eyes watching the product, to boost ratings from Monday Night Raw. But then you look back at it, Goldberg is not going to be there every week. Goldberg is not going to be there after Survivor Series. This is merely a Band-Aid on a fucking wound that will not stop bleeding. That's all it is, man. WWE needs a trip to the fucking ER. They need reconstructive surgery. That's what Monday Night Raw needs, man. And Goldberg, listen, it's a great thing for right now, but once Goldberg comes in and Goldberg comes out and he loses to Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series, that Band-Aid is going to peel off and Monday Night Raw's ratings are going to sink lower and lower and lower, just like they have been. They're going to go right back to where they have been. We might see a slight increase. We might see some interest generated, but everybody that watched Goldberg back in the heyday of the Monday Night Wars, man, they're not watching wrestling anymore. They don't give a fuck about Goldberg. Now that he's 50 years old, they don't give a shit about him coming back. And the people that have proclaimed to me each and every time I talk about this, I'm not interested in seeing this. The first match was fucking terrible. What makes you think this match is going to be any different or any better than the first match that they had? You have Brock Lesnar, who is lazy. Brock Lesnar, who is merely there to collect a paycheck and doesn't give a fuck what he does in the ring. Goldberg is back for a one-time deal for a big payday. I think it's going to be different. A lot of people think that it's going to be the same old shit. And that what these guys showed you at WrestleMania 20 is going to relive itself at Survivor Series 2016. There's going to be no difference between the two matches to some. To me, Goldberg, he's taking this deal because he wants to do it. He's taking this deal because he was very adamant about staying away from WWE, and his kids want to see him fight. His kids want to see him wrestle. And, I mean, it makes sense that it's Goldberg and Lesnar, man. It just makes sense. Do I think this is Goldberg's only match in WWE? No. I don't think so. You know? I mean, what sense would it make for him to come in and then go out and we never see or hear from him again? You know? Obviously, Goldberg wants to be at WrestleMania. He has said this. You know? He has stated he wants to be at WrestleMania. He wants one more WrestleMania against the right guy for the right payday. He wants his sons to see him wrestle at WrestleMania. Goldberg will be at WrestleMania. Goldberg will be in the WWE through WrestleMania season. This is just for right now with Brock Lesnar. But there's no doubt in my mind that Goldberg will be at WrestleMania 33, and he will be there in a big way. Whatever he's doing there, we don't know yet. I've heard Roman Reigns' name being tossed around as a potential opponent for Bill Goldberg. But Lesnar, Goldberg, happening at Survivor Series. Lesnar, obviously is going to win this match. The promos and the introduction and his return are going to be wildly newsworthy. It is going to be massive. The promo work from Paul Heyman alone is going to be must-see. I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be great to see that introduction on Monday Night Raw, where the officers are knocking on Goldberg's dressing room door, and he comes out, and you see the smoke, and he's doing his thing, and Paul Heyman's in the ring, and they're going back and forth, and Lesnar comes out, and they stare down. It's going to be a big moment, man. It's going to be a big moment. No matter how many people are shitting all over this already and stating that they do not want to see it, it is going to be a big thing. This is something WWE needs, but like I said, it is only a band-aid on a wound that will not stop bleeding. They need reconstructive surgery. Monday Night Raw needs. This is only a temporary band-aid, and that band-aid will peel off after the Survivor Series is over. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm excited. And Lesnar. I mean, yes, it doesn't make sense who wins. I mean, obviously, IGN, if you're watching the product, you know who wins. And yes, it should involve Shane McMahon. It should involve Shane McMahon. The fact that Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon already leaked that Goldberg was going to be on Monday Night Raw, that the match was going to fucking happen at Survivor Series. Shane McMahon should be the one to bring in Goldberg to fight Brock Lesnar because of what happened to him at SummerSlam. Shane McMahon should definitely be involved in this. It should have some type of storyline that stemmed from SummerSlam. If not, WWE is dropping the ball on making this all make sense. Obviously, Lesnar's going to go over. Lesnar is going to beat Goldberg, and he's going to make Shane McMahon's guy look like shit. And if WWE wants to do Shane McMahon versus Brock Lesnar somewhere in 2017, at least they have something to build off of. Goldberg didn't get it done. I should have never hired someone to do my own work. If you want to go out and get someone else to do it and they fail, listen, you got to take things into your own hands, man. You got to do the job yourself. And that's the storyline that they should build with Shane McMahon. Yes, Shane McMahon should be involved. But there's no doubt in anybody's mind that Lesnar is going to F5 Goldberg at Survivor Series 2016. Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is the new Intercontinental Champion. People are wondering, why did not the Intercontinental Championship match main event No Mercy? And I don't know why. And apparently, there is a reason for that. Now, you guys know the other match that happened. AJ Styles versus Cena versus Ambrose in a triple threat match, which was excellent in its own right for the WWE Championship. That opened No Mercy. The other big match, which should have been penned as the main event, was obviously Ziggler and The Miz in a career versus title match that arguably was the most compelling storyline in all of WWE. Ziggler upped the ante by putting his entire career on the line at No Mercy against The Miz and the Intercontinental Championship. As soon as everyone found out, Ziggler and The Miz went on 5th on the main card, with Orton and Wyatt having the honors of main eventing No Mercy. A lot of people were upset, man. A lot of people were left scratching their heads. Now, according to Ringside News, the WWE had two main reasons for making that call. The first is that WWE officials felt that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt are currently bigger stars than The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, with more main event experience on their resumes. The latter part of that, thanks in large part to Orton, is mostly true, though The Miz has certainly headlined his fair share of shows, and Ziggler wrestled for the WWE Championship as recently as SummerSlam. It's just hard to argue that Orton and Wyatt's storyline has been on the same level of Ziggler and The Miz purely from a reality standpoint. Add in the fact that most people were under the impression that Ziggler was going to lose at No Mercy and actually hang up his wrestling boots, and the win made it all that more special. The outcome of the match was the second reason. WWE officials went with Orton and Wyatt over Ziggler and The Miz. The backstage assumption was that if they let Dolph and The Miz close out No Mercy, then they were giving away the feel-good finish to the match. I don't necessarily believe that whatsoever. I, just like everybody else, or at least most of us, thought that Ziggler was going to lose. He was the one tweeting, "I'm taking independent bookings after No Mercy. I'm doing this. This could be my last match." He's taking pictures with fucking people in the back saying goodbye. I honestly thought that Dolph Ziggler was done with the WWE, even though there was a report stating that he had signed a long-term deal, 2 or 3 year extension with the WWE. things change, man. Feelings change. WWE is no stranger to letting people go early from their contracts if they really want out. They did it with Cody Rhodes, right? They did it with Cody Rhodes. They could have did the same thing with Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler could have had enough, and he didn't want to be in the company anymore. And he didn't want to wrestle for the WWE anymore based on how creative was treating him. People get tired. There's only so much one WWE superstar can take as terms or as it goes with booking. You know? He's been beaten down left and right. He's been humiliated. He's been treated like fucking nothing the last 3 years. Maybe he was thinking of hanging it up. I thought that was the case. And having that be his last match, main event, they could have did him the honors of that. So, I don't believe that whatsoever. The ending had nothing to do with it. Most people thought he was going to lose anyway, and by that thought alone, that should have warranted a main event spot to at least give Ziggler the send-off. Now, you had him win. I would have rather the WWE go off the air with that win than a boring Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper victory, Sister Abigail over Randy Orton. That made no sense, man. It was not exciting. It was like, that's it? That's how you're ending a pay-per-view? Instead of the match that we seen with The Miz and Ziggler and how everything transpired and how we got Ziggler to win the Intercontinental Championship, we're all wondering, why didn't that go on last? Why didn't that go off the air with Ziggler pandering to the crowd holding the Intercontinental Championship up? I don't know, man. I was expecting it to be his no-show. That was not the case. And he did appear on Talking Smack immediately following No Mercy, Ziggler did. And when SmackDown GM Daniel Bryan asked him about his contract demands, he may now have the new Intercontinental Championship around his waist. He also simply requested the opportunity to main event more shows. That's all he wanted. Though directed at Bryan, it could have served as a veiled shot at management for not actually putting him at the end when it was certainly justified. And when was the last time we seen the Intercontinental Championship main event anything, man? You probably got to date back to 1992, SummerSlam, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith versus Bret the Hitman Hart at Wembley Stadium at SummerSlam, main event for the Intercontinental Championship. Because I can't think of any other year, month, day, event, match that headlined a show that was the Intercontinental Championship match. That's how disgusting WWE has treated the Intercontinental Championship. All Ziggler wanted was to main event more shows. The Orton-Wyatt match had to incorporate something extra, and Luke Harper's return and subsequent involvement certainly qualifies, but not bigger than the Intercontinental Championship. Otherwise, it could have been viewed as a failure, considering the majority of the match leading up to the finish was viewed as dull and flat. Most argued that the Intercontinental Championship was the match of the night at No Mercy, as Ziggler and The Miz were given nearly 20 minutes to tell their story, which was fucking great. And though Dolph did not main event this week's episode of Smackdown, he opened the show, which carries a significant cachet as well. They should have main evented. WWE fucked up. If you're going to open the show with the WWE Championship and make a bold move like that, you better damn well have a backup for a solid main event. And they had it. On most nights, they aren't guaranteed something that great. On most nights, WWE isn't prepared for something else to close the show. They had it in Ziggler and The Miz, and they did not live up to expectation, man. They put on something in Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton that had no story going in. Nobody cared about it, and everybody else was invested in what happened with The Miz and Ziggler, being that it was the most well-thought-out, planned, and engaging storyline that SmackDown has been telling over the last 3 weeks. Why it did not main event No Mercy, I just don't know, man. WWE officials honestly really fucked up that entire match selection and match card for No Mercy. Ziggler, Miz, definitely was worthy of a main event at No Mercy. And they fucked up real bad by not giving those two guys the main event spot. Vince McMahon might not pay for Paige's neck surgery. She is suspended for 60 days. I will go over that as well, okay? Before I even get into the news report, I honestly don't even give a shit about Paige anymore. I don't. I mean, why should we care? She's suspended. I'm hearing that there's bullshit surrounding this doctor's note that she had in her possession and that she failed to give to WWE Medical. I'm hearing that there were illegal substances in her system. And I honestly believe right now that WWE wants nothing to do with Paige. I don't think WWE really gives a shit about Paige at this point. And in return, I honestly think Paige is trying to get herself fired. She could not get the lawyers. She can't get out of her contract. She's stuck for another 4 years. She is doing whatever it takes to get fired from the WWE. Being that she's young and brash, and I would not put it past her when she's coming back from this 60-day suspension that she gets suspended again and a third strike and you are terminated from your WWE contract. I honestly think Paige is on her way out of the WWE. At this point, WWE should just cut their losses and say, you know what, we tried. She doesn't want to be here. Maybe she'll want to come back at a later point in time. Whatever the case may be, go get yourself better. And that's it. But right now, WWE wants nothing to do with Paige, that Vince McMahon might not want to pay for Paige's neck surgery. Drama seems to be around every corner for Paige nowadays, in addition to back-to-back suspensions from WWE, allegations of drug abuse, and a mysterious knife fight with a homeless man. The popular diva appears to be set to engage in a controversial battle over neck surgery. WWE is reportedly hesitant to pay for it, as reported by Wrestling Inc. When WWE announced a couple of weeks ago that Paige had violated their wellness program for the first time and had been suspended for a month, she made it a point to let fans know that it was because she missed a testing appointment and had not failed a drug test. When WWE announced a second suspension, which amounts to 2 months off the road, Paige was on the defensive again. She and her family were quite vocal about her need of prescribed painkillers because she suffers from constant pain in her neck. That's what they were reporting, and that's what they were telling the WWE, that she had prescribed painkillers because she suffers from constant pain because of her neck. In addition to making that denial, the diva, whose real name is Soraya Jade Bevis, is also accused WWE of not treating their performers equally. Here we go. She feels that certain performers are allowed to get away with things if they are in a particular spot on the ladder. That's anywhere, man. That is in any business, in any part of the globe. That is nothing new. This is the WWE we're talking about. Of course this type of political bullshit goes on in the WWE, man. It would not be Vince McMahon's baby if there was no political bullshit. If you are loved and adored and liked by higher-ups and officials, you will be getting paid and you will be their top guy. If WWE brass does not like you and they look down upon you and they have nothing for you and they have no interest in booking you, you will be not treated, or you will not be treated like everybody else. You're not going to be treated like a Rollins or a Charlotte or a Becky, you know? If you're not in their good graces, you will be just like everybody else. Expendable. So, she's making no point in mentioning that. Of course, certain performers are allowed to get away with things. Because that's who they are. You want to know why CM Punk left the fucking WWE? That's the reason. People get away with murder. Nobody gave a fuck. They let everybody else do their thing while Punk needed fucking surgery. He had a cyst. They gave him a Z-Pack. Everything's going to be okay. The fucking guy could have died. They just throw you to the wayside. I mean, look at Cesaro. Cesaro's one of the most talented guys in the industry. Because his name is not John Cena, he's not going to be treated the same way as a John Cena. This is nothing new. So you have no point in arguing there. Others have made similar allegations. Ryback, a performer who's been with the WWE since 2004, has recently was granted his release, made similar allegations. His beef with management is that they do not require part-timers, many of whom who are used to provide a quick spike in numbers, to go through the wellness program testing. WWE decided to fire back against Paige. The company stated that the 24-year-old diva did indeed fail the wellness program, testing for an illegal drug. World Wrestling Entertainment generally avoids giving out too much details when performers are suspended, so this could be a sign of how agitated the front office is with Paige. Paige was also said to be involved in an incident with her real-life boyfriend, Alberto Del Rio, where a homeless man allegedly stabbed the former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That was the excuse that he gave for missing out on a scheduled wrestling event in AAA. Well, Paige and Del Rio are sticking to their story, No police reports have been found of the incident. There have yet to be any witnesses that have stepped forward about this particular incident. When the story first broke, there were said to be a couple of people that witnessed the entire thing. Paige announced this week that she was to undergo surgery to repair her neck. The England native also revealed that she was going to miss several months of action, with optimistic projections that she might be able to return by WrestleMania 33. Unfortunately for Paige, though, WWE might not be willing to pick up the tab for the surgery. Management does not believe she requires surgery after having their own doctors check her out. If World Wrestling Entertainment refuses to pay for the surgery, Paige might have trouble footing the entire bill by herself. Things between Paige and WWE could end up growing worse. She has publicly informed fans that she has no choice but to return to the company because she is under contractual obligations for a very long period of time. This could lead to an ugly backstage situation similar to what Rey Mysterio had to go through. The future was once so bright for Paige in WWE. She was the darling of the Divas division. Things have obviously since then gone quite south since then. Hopefully the two sides can figure something out because this mess is not good for anyone involved. WWE, no matter how pissed off they are at Paige, they should pay for her surgery. They should pay for her surgery. That is a given, man. They cannot go without giving this woman the medical attention she needs. Now, if their own doctors are saying, I don't know, man, I haven't heard anything. If their own doctors are saying that she does not require surgery, then she doesn't require surgery. Because you know WWE is not allowing someone to compete with a neck issue as bad as what they are saying Paige has. So if WWE doctors are saying it is not that bad, where she doesn't require surgery, then who do we believe? Who do we believe, man? Paige is young. Paige is reckless. Obviously, there's something in her system. Who the fuck knows what it is? Her family's saying that it's prescribed painkillers. WWE is saying that there is an alleged illegal substance in her body at the time of testing. We don't know what's going on, man. We really do not know what is going on. If I had to take a guess, it would be the first thing that I mentioned. I honestly think Paige, I'm not basing this on if she needs neck surgery or not, but I'm throwing that out the window, man. If I was to take a guess on anything, I'm going to say I think Paige is trying to get herself fired. I honestly think Paige wants to be suspended. I don't think she wants to come back. The only way out of her contract, the only way out, because WWE is not letting her go. The lawyers obviously are not going to find a way out of that ironclad contract. The only way out of it is 3 strikes and you're out. 3 failures of WWE's wellness policy violation and you are a terminated WWE employee. That's it. That is it. And being that WWE is a publicly traded company, if Paige is testing positive once again, and this is her 3rd strike, they have no choice but to fire her and let her go. And then Paige will be free, she will be happy, and probably all of this will be revealed as a complete fucking farce and bullshit. But I don't know what substance she was nailed for. I don't know. Ryback is right. CM Punk is right. Paige is right. This shit happens. But this is the WWE. This thing has been happening since before all of us were even fucking born to even know what wrestling is, man. It was happening back in the day with the Hogans and the Warriors and the Harts and the Michaels. Come on. Of course there's political fucking bullshit, man. If you're not one of those guys, if you're not a Rollins, a Reigns, a Cena, you're going to get away with murder, man. You're going to get away with murder if you're on the upper echelon of that talent pool. If you're not, you're going to be treated just like everybody else, man. Everybody else before you. And they left. They didn't want to be around it. The political shit was too much. You know? Not given equal rights. Not given this. Not given movie deals while other people are granted whatever they want. You know? Medical attention. 1, 2, 3, this, that. It happens. It happens everywhere, not just in the WWE. It happens at your job. Wherever you were employed, there is always favoritism. There's always someone on your staff that is favored more than everybody else, man. It happens. It's life. It's business. That's all it is, man. It is business. WWE NXT star Hideo Itami suffers neck injury. How long could he be out? This is a sad state of affairs, man. And I will say this before I even read this report. This sucks for Hideo Itami, man, because he was out 1.5 years. He came back, and he was not generating the interest that he had been before he went out. And he was getting back on that slow but surely type of thing, building momentum. And him teaming with Kota Ibushi would have been a great thing. It would have got him back into that superstar status. Now that he's out, all that momentum is going to be washed away again. And he's been out so long that he hasn't had the sufficient amount of time to build his credibility and his reputation and his character in front of a live audience, man. It is tough to get invested in somebody when you were so fully invested in him and then he gets injured and he's out for a year and a half and he comes back. It was never going to be the same, man. He was going to have to work his ass off to get back to where he was. And now he's out again, which could be months. And now he's got to start all over again. He hasn't had a fair share of time in front of a live audience. Hideo Itami suffers a neck injury. This is the story on him. He had an interesting last few years. He would have had a great opening run with the NXT brand and even helped introduce Finn Balor to the product. However, he would end up getting hurt in 2015, which would end up costing him an entire year plus of action. In fact, he has barely been back so far. It seemed that WWE was doing their best to build Itami back up to a credible threat once more as of late. They paired him with Kota Ibushi, another Japanese favorite, for the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Tag Team Classic on NXT. It seemed like the two were going to get on a roll in the tournament and maybe even make the finals. Ibushi alone has not signed a contract and may feel compelled to do so if he had some big wins under his belt, such as the Tag Team Classic in honor of the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. However, he might have trouble doing this as it seems Hideo got hurt once again. On October 2nd, at a live NXT event, Hideo Itami was involved in a tag team match where he teamed with Shinsuke Nakamura as they took on Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli. During the match, Hideo Itami took a power slam from Riddick Moss. However, in doing it, Moss apparently did not execute it correctly, and it seemed like Itami landed on his neck. When people who recorded it put it online, it instantly got attention on the internet. No one knew if Itami was hurt or not. He finished the match, though, like a boss, but no one heard if there was something wrong or not. As you can see in this video, I'm sure you guys can find it, Hideo Itami certainly landed badly, and it worried a lot of people in the crowd and even Moss and his partner, Tino Sabatelli. You could tell something was off even just watching it. Then the guys had looks on their faces like you knew something was wrong. In Japan, there are many times where stiff moves are done and guys take hard slams and falls. However, you don't hear of things like this happening as often due to the extreme training that they do go through. You do hear of extreme injuries, though, as Japan probably has around 50 banned moves in other areas of the world. However, WWE trains their talent well, and accidents can happen at any level, anywhere in the world. The problem is that Hideo Itami just got back from injury, and it seemed like he just got hurt so fast. Pro Wrestling Sheet and Ryan Satin confirmed that the theory that fans had and claimed Hideo does indeed have a neck injury that will cost him a few months. It is uncertain if he can do simple rehab on it and come back or if he'll need surgery. Nobody knows as of yet. Hideo Itami, I will say this, did take to WWE.com. He did say he would miss NXT TakeOver Toronto. He did say he will miss the Tag Team Classic, obviously. But when WWE tours NXT and they tour Japan, he said he is not missing Osaka, Japan when NXT tours overseas this coming September. He will be there for that. He promises that. There is hope that it is not too serious, because if he does need surgery, he could miss yet another year of action. This has to be tough on Hideo Itami, who was on a huge roll when he first arrived, and most feel he would already be on the main roster if he never got hurt, or at least the NXT champion. There is a lot of money in Itami, and WWE knows it. This is the entire reason they signed him. Not only does he help the company bring in the Japanese market, but he also helps the simple American market who enjoys seeing realism brought into the WWE. The stiff kicks and overall ring work Itami does bring has certainly made the aspects of you enjoying NXT a little bit more. He comes from the same tree as Seth Rollins, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, and many others that he has worked all over the world before finally coming to the WWE. He was a huge name in Japan as Kenta, and Triple H felt he could grab him. He would be able to bring someone who could be big for the WWE. He managed later on to lure Kota Ibushi in, as well as Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura. So Hideo Itami isn't as needed as much as he was before, but he is still someone WWE loves and wants to succeed. Let's hope he can just stay healthy. Hideo Itami, hopefully, the next time I report about him, I'm explaining to you guys that he does not need neck surgery. He's already proclaiming that he will be back when NXT tours Osaka, Japan in December at the end of the year. Hopefully that is the case. I was looking very much forward to seeing him and Kota Ibushi in the Tag Team Classic. I had them penciled in to win it. Honestly, I did. But now, Kota Ibushi is going to be teaming with TJ Perkins. That's still a great tag team. I would have much rather see Itami and Ibushi. And I think this would have paid off so well for Itami. I think this would have gotten him back to the point where he was before he got hurt. And now he's got to start all over again, man. Shit happens. It's a tough break. I just hope it is not as serious. And he's back very, very quickly. Thank you guys so much, man. That is Off the Script. Episode 139. Part number 1 for October 14th. This is Friday. Thank you guys so much. More content to come. WWE MyCareer mode coming up. I got a bunch of shit off the script all weekend. You guys keep it right here for more great WWE action. Also, today I will be live streaming Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. The beta releases today, so make sure you guys keep your eyes peeled on the channel. I am JD. If you enjoyed the video, slap that thumbs up as hard as you fucking can. I'll be back on Saturday with more great news and rumors. What else I got? This weekend, SmackDown Live's ratings improve while Monday Night Raw ratings sink lower and lower and lower. Matt Hardy filming an entire TNA Impact Wrestling episode from home. Matt Hardy also wants to buy TNA from Dixie Carter. TNA President Billy Corgan files a lawsuit against Dixie Carter and TNA Wrestling. So much, man. So much going on in TNA. We will cover it all this weekend, plus so much more, man. I'm JD. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. And I'll be back on Saturday with more great WWE news and rumors. This is Off the Script, and I'll see you guys on Saturday morning.